Hey guys, we're out here at the Holly Oaks off-road recreation area here in Holly, Michigan. And today we're gonna be doing a video on the Coastal off-road front bumper. So I want to come out here and kind of show you some of the benefits. Right now, bumper's totally stock. It's the OEM Tacoma bumper. And we're gonna show you through this video how to put it together. The advantages once we get it put on. We're gonna show you how to increase your approach angle and all that stuff. So it's gonna be pretty awesome. Stay tuned. All right guys, so you would have just seen me heading up this hill a little bit. I want to show some of the approach angle. Now the stock Tacoma has a decent amount of approach angle to begin with, but I want to kind of show you, give us some compare and contrast. So we're going to show this towards the end of the video what it looks like with the new bumper on, but there's probably, I don't know, maybe 2.5 inches there or so of ground clearance right now. I mean, it's close, but not you know, I can see where you get in some situations and then maybe like right here would hit. But yeah, the new bumper is going to help a lot because it's going to come up, this will be gone, and the corners will come up way higher. So we're going to see if we can find some other stuff to give you a little better example. All right guys, we want to show you the difference between the stock Tacoma bumper and the Coastal off-road high clearance off-road bumper. So right now, there's no way I'm getting up this without like ripping the whole bumper off. Because right now it's sitting on the bumper and the skid plate underneath. So you can definitely tell it's hitting the bumper for sure. So we want to come back to this once we get the new bumper on to show you how much more clearance you're gonna have for that. We could never do any of this stuff if we didn't do the 4-wheel drive conversion on this. This is originally a pre-runner, so the first video you've seen from us. We converted this guy from 2-wheel drive to 4-wheel drive. So if you're watching this and you have a 2-wheel drive and you want to see how to do it, we'll put the link up above to that video series. You guys can check that out. But yeah, so you can kind of see we need to add a different bumper to this, make it a lot better. We're back at the garage. We had a little bit of fun with the stock setup on the Tacoma, but now we need to get started on making it look a lot better. We did get it dirty yesterday, so I got to get this thing cleaned up so we can get to work. Okay, so during the process of doing this, I'm actually going to be pulling the grill off and painting that all black, getting rid of all the chrome. I think that'll look really sweet. And obviously the bumper is going to come off, so that's the first step. All right, stock bumper is off. Really quick, to get the factory bumper off, there's 6 bolts. You've got one right here, which is actually, you can access it. There's a hole right here, socket through there. 2 more bolts right here. You can get to them from the side. Actually, you can see one of them here. I rounded it off, but this bracket comes off. And then one more right here by the, again, you can access it from the back side. It's a little dirty under here. So I'm actually going to power wash this a little bit and clean this up. And then we're going to move on to showing you what's in the boxes that you get from Coastal Off-Road. Okay, we've got everything out of the box, but before we get to that, guys, we have some exciting things to tell you. We did partner up with Coastal Off-Road. The guys are great over there. We told them we had a Tacoma truck that we're building and wanted to see if they want to work with us, and they're more than happy to work with us. So they're great guys over there. They did hook us up just for you guys a 5% off coupon code, CHF5. If you go to the website, use that code, you're gonna get 5% off anything on the website. And they have off-road armor for Toyota, Lexus, Chevy, Ford, Dodge. They even have Mercedes and Suzuki on there. So head over to the website. They've got a lot of off-road armor for a lot of really cool vehicles. Definitely go check those guys out. They're awesome. They wanted to work with us. So support companies that support Cracked Housing Fab. We really appreciate it. Okay, so all these pieces are all part of the bumper kit, weld together bumper kit, along with this centerpiece here. Now they do have a few different options for the Tacoma. You can get, this is just a grill hoop. You can get it without that. You can get it with ones that go over the headlights on each side. Yeah, so there's plenty of options. And this is the closed top bumper. They do have an open top where the winch will actually stick out of the top of the bumper. I didn't want that one because I didn't want to have to trim the grill. You have to trim the grill if you do get that one. Not a bad option. It does give you a little bit more clearance in the front if you do the open top. But I wanted the closed top and get a little bit more of a clean look. But yeah, so this is all the kit. I'm not going to go through every single piece. We're going to go through that as we go through the video. And also I did add the 40 watt 3" by 3" LED light kit that comes with it. These are nice. This is a full wiring kit. It has everything you need there. They even have the weather pack sealed connectors with it. These are the turn signal lights that go on each side, because obviously you're going to lose the ones that were in the bumper down low. So yeah, this is everything that comes with the kit. And the great thing about this is, if you have a welder at home, that's really the only tools you need, just your basic hand tools, and you can do this in your garage very easily. Yeah, so this I'm going to go kind of through a step-by-step, at least on one half of the bumper, to show you how to put it together. Obviously it's a mirror image for the other side, so yeah, let's get started. One thing that's a good idea before you get started, they do give you each piece, numbered piece, in the instruction kit. So I'm going to go through and number all these, that way I know as I'm going through the instructions, I know which part goes where. They give you a very nice laid out instruction kit. We have everything numbered. One thing I did notice in the instructions, just so you know, if you do get this kit and you're looking at it, there's 3 pieces here. It looks to be 3 pieces. I'm assuming maybe they improved the process and made this all out of one piece. So this is actually the 3 pieces in the middle. It's just one bent piece now. Okay, first step now, it depends on which model you have. Some of the older Tacomas and 4Runners have like a crush can here for impact. This has a crash bar. It's on there. I just took it off. That way it's out of the way. You can't have it on there with the new bumper. Something that is necessary when you go to do this, you do have to cut these plates flush with the frame. So I'm going to go ahead and cut those off, and then we'll get on to the actually putting the metal pieces on for the bumper. Got the frame plates all off, ground nice and smooth. Next step is we have to take off the factory recovery point. That one is on there. I already had this one taken off. Now with the necessary things cut off there, we're good to get started on the fun stuff. So there's a couple things you're going to need before you get rolling. You will need a couple of flange nuts. You can do 12mm or half 13. I did half 13. Easier to find around me. 6 1/2" or 12mm fender washers. They call for a 4.5" half 13 bolt. They only had 4 and 5 at the hardware store, so I'll make whatever one work. But anyway, so the first step, and it seems like most of the pieces are in chronological order with how they have you number them. So we're going to start with number 1 and number 2. Okay, number 1 piece will get bolted back into the location where your factory recovery points are. Put that back in. I'll put the one on the other side. Number 2 plate is the piece that goes on top of the frame. So I've gotten this piece bolted in here. That way it's using the factory hardware. Now what we need to do, there's a 3rd hole here. We need to drill a clearance for a half 13 bolt. That's what I'm using, through each side, and it's going to go through the top and bolt this guy in place. Okay, holes are drilled, and then I put those half 13 bolts that we picked up from the hardware in there. And now we have to weld these nuts to this plate, because you will not be able to get to that once the bumper is put together. Okay, nuts are welded on. One little bit of a side note, guys, I put this bottom piece in here. It's not sitting in there straight, but I did have to come back and trim a little bit more off the frame, maybe about 3/4 inch back to make room for this plate. I do have to square it up and everything still, but just so that you guys know that that needs to be done. And so now I'm going to square this guy up. Okay, have this piece in here. I've got it all squared up with the magnets. I'm going to tack it on each end, and then I'm going to pick up on it with the jack to close this gap up. There's a little bit of a gap there, so we're going to get that nice and straight. So I tacked this piece in the middle here. I still need to bring it up in the center and get this to line up nicely. I went ahead and started to put this side in, mock it up. The only thing you have to do before you put that piece on is you have to take these two pieces, which is the side support piece, and then this oddly shaped one, and then make sure you orientate it correctly so that it lines up, and then go ahead and tack weld that. I did a couple tacks across the top and one down here, you know, clamped it and then welded it. And once you get a little bit more situated, I can weld it a little better up there, but yeah, that's got to go on, and then the piece will go on the side. Okay, just like that. A couple tacks there, one here on the corner, just to kind of hold everything together. And then I'll go ahead and get it mocked up on the side here. This piece should be sticking out a little bit, and you'll actually set, I'll show you on this side, it'll sit down on that ledge. Everything should line up nice and flush. Side plate is on. Both of them are tacked in place. Got this piece in there. There are a couple of small gusset pieces that will go on the back side behind this plate to kind of support the winch. I'm going to put those in after I pull the bumper off and get them from the back side, because I want to make sure this is nice and flush, and these will butt up to it on the back side and be nice and solid. But next step is going to be putting the main piece on. So that piece is going to go right on top of those other two uprights. All right, I just have this piece sitting here. A little bit of a bit of advice if you're doing this. I tacked this upright piece to the bottom piece along here, and those tack welds are holding this piece out so it wouldn't line up right here properly. So to go back and grind them off, added a few more tacks up in the corners and whatnot, but man, you can kind of start seeing it come together a little bit. This is exciting, man. This thing's gonna look so cool when it's done. All right, I got the big piece tacked in place. So now I think what I'm going to do is gonna throw a little better welds on some of the major pieces so it doesn't move around on me when I'm trying to put the wings on. So yeah, that'll be next. I'm gonna throw some extra weld on there, and then we'll get started on the side wings. So starting on the wing, now that we've got this middle part ready to go, this is gonna be the first plate, the big plate on the top. I'm gonna do one side, and then the steps are exactly the same to the other side, so I'm not gonna show you both. So this one laid in there, I've got my jack supporting this, some magnets to make sure that I'm flush and level, and then you want to make sure your clearances are pretty good. You want about a 1/2 inch here. I did have to add a little bit of clearance in here. I know this truck did have a deer collision in its past, and this was the spot that it hit, so I don't know if this was just a tiny bit off, but had to shave off maybe 3/8 or a 1/2 inch where it met the fender in there. But the other side, I checked it out, fits perfect. Okay, that's tacked up. Next piece is the piece that will go to your turn signal. This is piece number 11. So this fits in there. I kind of had it in there before just to check and make sure everything fit nice. That fits well. That lines up nice. I'll line it up there, and then we will be trucking right along. All right, turn signal piece is in. I just tacked this other triangle piece in there. I believe that's for 12. Yeah, so kind of when you start getting to the wing parts, it starts to go a little bit quicker. This part takes some time because you want to make sure it's nice and square, everything lines up the way it should. So that takes quite a while. Once you get out here, these pieces just kind of like put the puzzle together, and it goes together pretty quick. So now we've got a few more pieces on the side here to throw in. This is the wing done. This is piece 12. There's a piece under here, this piece here. That's piece 14, that kind of closes in the bottom. And then piece 15 is kind of sort of your end cap piece. So there, I'll have to do a little bit trimming on the fender guard, kind of clean that up a bit, but man, you really start seeing it to come together once you get one wing on and kind of start to see what's going to happen. I'm not going to show you guys the other side. That's literally just a copy and paste over here. So I'm going to get that done and got the other side on. Oh man, I'm getting super excited. This thing is looking so good. But now the next step is to put the hoop on. Now I got the grill hoop. They do sell a kit also that comes over and down on the side for your headlight guards. I wanted just a grill one. Now this comes straight, so stand straight up and down. You know, you're looking at it this way. I did a little cut on there. I'm gonna tip it forward. I like that look a little bit better than just straight on. Yep, I got that cut, and I'm gonna go ahead and tack this guy on here. Got the hoop tacked in place. One thing I didn't show was these gussets. Those guys will obviously go in the corner to strengthen it up. Just have everything kind of tacked up right now. Oh man, I set it on an angle. That's pretty cool. Looking good. I gotta tell you, I've used some weld together kits in the past. Things didn't really line up to bash, have to modify it, blah, 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 blah. This, the only thing I had to do was a little bit of clearance right here, and I believe that's because of the truck. That's not because of what Coastal did. Great kit. Easy to put together. Once you kind of get everything squared up, it just kind of starts putting the puzzle together. Boom, it goes together. Easy to do with, if you have a welder, just regular hand tools. Man, this is a great kit to have. But now we're gonna do the process of finish welding everything. Okay, finished welding is all done. And also went through with a grinder and cleaned up all the welds, and then went back with a flat disc to make it nice and smooth. Everything came out really, really nice. Kind of just blended everything together. It looks really good. I am going to have this powder coated, so any of these little like minor scuffs and swirls and stuff, you won't even be able to tell. Powder coat goes on pretty thick. But yeah, this thing, I'm super happy with it. Super excited to see what it's going to look like once the powder coat goes on. But yeah, this is looking pretty good. One thing that I did forget to mention, these are the tabs. One here and one here. That's for your pod lighting to mount to bolt to. So pretty straightforward. Center them on the hole and put it right on that seam, and then make sure it's 90 degrees to the front plate. Good to go. Weld her up. Alright guys, we are back out at Hollyoaks Off-Road Park, and we've got the bumper on the truck, and I want to show it to you guys. It turned out awesome. So it's been a little while, probably about 3 weeks since I finished up the bumper, sent it to powder coating. They got it done, and we got it back, and it turned out awesome. I went with a satin black. I think it turned out really nice. It's a little bit dirty right now, but it's an off-road truck. That's what it's for. But some cool features. Has the CO cut out for Coastal Off-Road, which I thought was kind of cool, and it also allows access to your winch, free spool, and clutch, and a little bit more air flow through the bumper to get to the radiator. And then this will be the spot for the fair lead. I will have a video showing how to set up the winch and how it all fits in here. So that'll be coming up after this one, obviously. So, but then I added a couple of just Amazon, recovery points. These things are pretty heavy duty. We'll put the link to these down in the description below. And yeah, I think this thing turned out awesome. Picked up the extra 3" by 3" off-road lights. They work really well. But yeah, so we're going to show you a couple things and show you the ground clearance. Okay, so we're back to the spot that we did this with the factory bumper, and you can clearly see that you have a mile of additional approach angle. I mean, before the bumper was touching, it was way down here and it was hitting the rocks. This bumper provides a ton of additional approach angle. I mean, look, you got almost a foot here, and you can easily climb up this. Plenty of room up front here. This bumper adds a lot more capability to your truck, and it allows you to go up a lot steeper stuff. So yeah, this is awesome. The looks combined with the functionality of this bumper, you can't beat it. It takes a little bit of time, and with welding and all that, but I think it's a really awesome, great looking kit.
All right, let's test this out.
All right, we're gonna go up this. It's pretty steep. GoPros never do this stuff justice, but
and now under the truck. No burnouts, please.
I think we need to lock.
You left me. Come back. Hey.
All right, one quick thing I want to talk about before we end the video. When I put the bumper on, obviously this is going to add some weight to your truck. This bumper weighs between 80 and 90 pounds depending on the options. If you put the hoops or the headlight hoops on there, that's going to add weight. Obviously with a winch you're going to add weight. So what I had to do is I actually put a set of Bilstein 6112s on the front. These guys right here, and it comes with the shock and with the spring. And they're fully adjustable, so I adjusted them up. I got them set at almost the second from the top, almost to the top. But yeah, so those things helped out a lot too. They ride a million times better than the factory shocks, and they increase the ride height because you lose a little bit when you put the bumper on. All right guys, video's come to an end. This bumper turned out awesome. Stay tuned for the winch install video, and if you're looking to convert your pre-runner Tacoma to four-wheel drive, we have that video series as well, so go back and check that out. Huge shout out to Kurt and Kelly. They both helped me film this, and it's been an awesome journey with doing this, and yeah.
Thanks for watching, guys. Make sure and like and subscribe.